Everybody, thank you so much. Happy Tuesday. I appreciate you all taking some time to carve out to learn a little bit more about Intact during this Lunch and Learn series. We will also be providing the recording for you once this is done so you can review it anytime. And if there's any questions at the end as well, if you want to put it in the chat, but you can always feel free to ask and chime in for questions at any point. But without further ado, I do want to introduce Jordan Hagan. He is our senior consultant for Intact here, and he's going to be talking about Intact dashboards and really how they can be kind of customized and best fit for your business. So, Jordan, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Appreciate it, Andrew. Hello, everybody. I am going to run through several different things here. To start, we're going to look at, if you ever have a need, I don't know how many of you all have actually looked at the dashboards or actually dug into it, but we are going to first start off with performance cards. So at the top here, here's 4 different performance cards. We got cash on hand, AR balance, AP balance, and general and administrative expenses. But I want to, look at a different account or different accounts or account groups. So I'm going to go up here and click this plus sign here and let that load for a second. And then I will grab this component type of a performance card. And then I want to see office supplies. Oh, that didn't go in properly. Office supplies. And then the biggest thing, the driver for these performance cards is going to be the account group. So what this ties back to ultimately is your general ledger accounts and what quick start category you're using, or if you're using custom account groups, you can use those as well. But there is a quick start category called office supplies expense. I'm going to select that. One of the next things on here on the performance card is like, how do you want to report it? We're going to report it standard right now, just the current month, but there's other reporting methods you could use. But I'm going to do this current month here, and then we want to see it as currency, and I want it as a whole number. I don't know if any of you all are using separate reporting books, but there is an option for that as well. There is a comparison function. You can do the period, budget, or no comparison at all. Today, I'm actually going to show you the budget function. So I want to compare it to a budget, and you can select a budget within there. So I'm going to take the master budget, and then the icon. As you saw, there was several options on my screen already. These are just themed of what you want to utilize there. I'm going to leave it as an arrow, and I'm going to make this actually red. So when it exceeds the budget, there's some verbiage here. When it exceeds the budget, it's going to red flag it. And I'm going to show it as you can do a budget difference or percent of the budget. I'm just going to leave it as percent of the budget right now. And then there is also filtering options if you needed to filter for whatever reason, strictly on this performance card. But I'm going to go ahead and save that and let that load in here. And as you see, we are below budget. So office supplies, green arrow, we are doing good this month. And my month is some old data here in the test environment here. Another thing with performance cards, if you drill down into it, it will pull up GL, a little view here. I'll make it bigger for you. See if I can make that bigger. Okay. You got the master budget. This is the month ending of December of 2018. You have the master budget, and we are below that percentage of an actual here. And you can also drill down into this to see more details of the actual GL details. I'm sure most of you all use the drill down functions there. Oh, it zoomed in for my change there. Let me zoom back out. Another thing with the performance cards I wanted to show you was the filtering option. So within here, if this, you might not see this currently. I'll probably show you real quick, just if you don't see departments or locations, if you all have those or not, you might just have the as of date, or you may not have the as of date at all. Let me actually show you that real quick. So if you're within a dashboard you're using currently, if you go to the setting wheel here, and then go to filters, there's a filter option. like I said, I'm trying to remember the default, or if you all have played with these any. As of date sometimes might not even be on there. So select as of date and then whatever filters you might want to use on your given dashboards. So select as of date. I got department, location, and project. You're only allowed 3 options on the dashboards. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now if you didn't have all those, you now have all those. So within here, I wanted to show the function of filtering as well on these performance cards. So I wanted to look specifically at marketing for my example here. So I'll select marketing, kept my as of date, and applied this. And then you'll see how when you select that filter, data is going to change. What hadn't changed yet, but it's the budget has changed. So marketing budget has changed. You see that the budget is way over for marketing. So that tells me all that office supplies were for marketing and that was not budgeted for them. Now, if I switch this to a location as well, so I'm going to pivot here, apply, you'll see the numbers change here. Once again, we're still over budget, but for this location, we got $2,400 for $25 here. And if I drill down into this, you'll see that the budget was 2,000, so we went over $425. And once again, on that percent sign, you can see I could change that to, let me flip that back over real quick. If we go back to the appearance, I could flip it to difference, so you can see the budget difference. So $425 over budget there. So that's performance cards with you. Like I said, you can do any account group that you currently have. We can also create custom account groups. Certainly, if you have any need for maybe custom account groups, you can send me or the team emails. But that is the standard addition there of adding a performance card, and then using the filter options as well. So I'm going to apply that back there. And now we're going to get into, I'm going to show you a little bit of reports, how you can add them. And also I'm going to create one real quick as well. And then also pivot and add a performance card off that report. So to start, we're going to look at a gross profit report. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to create a quick report for you all. I know we're doing another lunch and learn down the road over financial reporting. But you'll see a quick snippet here that loads for me. So I'm going to create a new report. Gross profit. Don't mind this. I'm going to create gross profit account group. So there's those account groups again coming into play. This is what dictates the data. So revenue, cost of revenue are the two in this gross profit account group. And I am going to actually just, and then on the column side, we're going to look at current month as well. So current month, one column report here. I am going to save this. So now I am at the point where you most likely have reports within your financial report writer there, the report center. I'm going to go back for you. So you may have standard reports that you use. You can add them if you go in and edit them. So I'm going to go back into that gross profit report. If we go to edit, on the very last next steps here, there is a add this report to dashboard. So this is one way, and you can also add it on the actual dashboard as well. So I'm not going to do this way because this one's just a click it and it's added there. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to create that report though, and then show you the actual dashboard function. So we're going to do the plus here again. We are going to select report. And then report source, there's options, financial report. If you have any memorized reports that are useful on that you have saved, you can add those to the dashboard as well. And then interactive visual explorer is something separate that most people don't really use. I'm going to go ahead and select the component and then the title. So I'm going to come in here, and there's not a really good way to search, but just scroll down and you see all these reports. So financials, gross profit, LL is what I just created, and it pulls in that title. few more things on the report side here. If you want automatic height, so that's going to be, it's going to span the length of the report that you have. You can do automatic height, or you can turn this off. And then, or you can enter the number of rows you want to see. So I'm going to do automatic height, live report view, allow the dashboard filtering, so you can turn that off if needed. And also, if you have a lot of reports on your dashboard, there is a show collapsed option. So when you first come in to your dashboard, they're actually collapsed, and then you can expand them as needed. So if you say you had 4 or 5 different reports, that's going to be a lot of reports for a dashboard. I would recommend using the collapse, and then you just expand them when needed. So I'm actually going to turn that on so I can show you that function. But that's all you need to do is go in and select that report. And then this report comes in right here. And as you see, it's collapsed. So if I click this here, now it's expanded. So having that collapse function for multiple reports makes sense to me, at least. But here's our gross profit report that we just created and put on the dashboard. And then secondly, I'm just going to create a quick gross profit percent performance card real quick. So we're going to flip the component type to performance card again, gross profit percent. And then for this example here, there is and I don't know if this is set up by default, but going back to the account groups, you can make computations. So there's a gross profit percent account group that I'm using. And we select that there. I'm actually going to do, for this one, I'm going to do prior period. If it exceeds its green, that's all good there. Gross profit percent. And then I want to change this to percent. I want to see that as percentage there. So save this here. Should come up. Gross profit percent. So you can see that right there on your screen. Given that you have that account group set up. If not, we can set that up through the computation. But that is the percent there. And then I'll show you just some filtering options. So if I change the date here, you'll see the gross profit percent changes. Just want to show that option. So I put in previous month, our gross profit was higher. So prior month, put 3% higher versus the prior month. And then I'm just going to put back to December as well. And now we're down again. So that there was there's 2 ways to add a report to a dashboard. It's through the actual reporting piece over there, or through the adding of a component to the dashboard. All right. And then a few more dashboards I'm gonna move to some charts here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 more charts. So there is general performance cards. We did report and performance cards so far. I'm gonna do a chart now. There's a separate component type for this, and then select the component. So we're gonna do AC. We're gonna do accounts receivable trend. I'm gonna save that. And then I'm also going to add a cash balance trend. So once again, plus sign, add a component. We're looking at the chart type here. And then we are grabbing, make sure I grab cash. There it is, okay. And then we'll add that as well. that load. All right, so now I just added those two charts in here. I'm gonna pull these actually over here. So the setup for this dashboard, we got 3 columns. There is options to make it only 2 columns. We got 3 columns here. And now I've moved these over here. So as you see, we have cash balance trend. So the last 6 months on both of these to show you how AR is trending and how your cash balance is trending. I believe these should be some standard charts here as well. But if there's any issues or questions, feel free to send them to our team once again, and we can take a look at that with you all. But that is the chart function. It's going to be very similar to adding a report. And then you can also drill into those. So that function there. And I wanted to maybe show you as well some settings within the dashboard function. So we added the charts, we added the graphs, we had the performance cards. Now, from your all's end, if there's any need to, hide dashboards, group them, I'm going to show you some of that here. So now we're looking at that appearance again. So we got title, as you saw on my drop down, the lunch and learn title here. 3 columns, we can make it 2 or 1. Flexible width, which is the wider one, I selected as middle. And then there is a color theme in the background you can select as well. So I'm going to change that. And then if there's a need, and I'll show it for you real quick here, you see I have operations and then I have a drill into 3 different dashboards. That is the group function that you're seeing that I just had up there. This group, select group. You can create groups for dashboards as needed. And then you all saw this earlier, but there's the second tab here on dashboard properties is going to be the filters. So turn on as of date. If you need department, location, whatever your dimensions are needed, you can add those here. And then lastly, the permissions tab. This shows who the owner is, but also you can dictate who can see this. So by default, most dashboards are going to be group everyone, but you can deny that and you can create user groups within the company setup. But you can also do individual users as well. So if you wanted to maybe create your own dashboard, and I can show you that in a second, and then block anybody else from seeing it, you can do that if you have the proper permissions, of course. But I'm going to go ahead and just deny everyone from seeing this one. And then I'm going to add myself as a user. So allow me, deny everybody else. So I'm going to save this. And you saw my color change to green on that. Also from your all's end, just to understand dashboards a little bit more, I wouldn't change any of the standard ones. I would just work off them. So there's a button over here. If you, of course, have the proper permissions, there's a clone dashboard. So I would go in and create your own dashboards from a default dashboard. Or you can create a new one just from scratch. But if you like some features within one, I would start with cloning them and then renaming them. And then this is where you can, block people or add the filters as well. And then last function here I wanted to talk about as well is the main shortcuts. This should be on, like I said, one or two of the default ones. But to understand, I don't know if you all have used these, but you can log into Intacct to your dashboard and work from there. And your dashboard, you can go straight into task. So I can go straight into a journal entry from the dashboard. There's also another function that I'm going to show here is custom navigation. So if you didn't like the main shortcuts, you could create custom navigation. So we're going to add a component here. oops, wrong one. Under the general tab here, you have custom navigation. All right, let that load. There we go. Give it a second. Okay. I'll just change this to task. So I'm going to go in here in the menu section. So this is going to have like every applicable option you can do if you have the rights to it. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to do bank rec. So I'm going to add this menu option. Bank reconciliation. So this is going to be a custom navigation component under the general component tab. And then it's one of my tasks for this. So I'm going to add this. Add. Now this one is cool because when you do the custom navigation, it pops up another window. So you could log in Intacct into your dashboard and select bank rec, and it pops up another window for you to start working in bank reconciliation. So that goes for anything that you add within here. So if I go back to the setting wheel there, it's going to take me back into here. And I can go add other menu options. So this is like create a bill, create an invoice, AR invoice. It's kind of sectioned out here if you can see. So company, checklist, let me get down to accounts payable, services, projects, inventory, order entry. Give me, I think I scrolled right past it somewhere. There it is. Okay, accounts payable. So bills. I add this one real quick just to show you. Save that. And then straight from your task list here, you can go straight into your bills list and then add from there. So you can always have multiple screens up and you'll always have your dashboard open for you to view numbers. All right. I think that's it for today. I'm almost right at time. I appreciate everybody joining me. I don't think there's any questions.
Looks
Feel
like
free.
just it does look like we did have a question from Brett. He'd asked about custom dashboards being made prior to their time and they need to edit them, and he was just asking for some guidance on the easiest way to do that.
Hmm. Yeah. So as far as prior ones that you're not able to see, I guess is the question. I don't know if that was the ask.
Allow him to talk.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if Brett wanted to.
Hey,
Brett,
what's
if you
going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, so we just had some dashboards that were set up by an accounting firm prior to us, and they don't seem to follow the general view, like setup that you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it seemed like he had built these built the dashboard report by kind of like the account groups and listing them.
Mm-hmm.
We're just having a hard time tying them back to our actual reports that are made. Would it be more
Gotcha.
benefit? The big one is the cash flow report or the
Mm-hmm.
cash flow dashboard. He's
Yeah.
inserted a bunch of stuff in there, so we're trying to
Yeah.
reverse engineer it basically.
Yeah. I mean, certainly it sounds like something I should take a look at with you, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I could answer it right there, but yeah, it's probably something, there's whether it's custom account groups like I talked about, or adding things that you're maybe running a different report. I don't know. So I'd have to go and see that. But certainly if you wanted to shoot me an email or shoot just our team, I'll certainly take a look at that with you.
Cool.
We can get that resolved, because that shouldn't be the case. Should be an easy fix. I just need to see it to kind of tell
Okay.
you.
Well, thanks, man. I'll send you an email.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Jordan. If there's nobody else with any questions, we can conclude this, but I will definitely be following up with everyone to see if there's anything, any further questions or outstanding questions. But you can always feel free to also reach out to Jordan or myself too. And again, we want to thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Yep. Yep. Shoot me any emails if you wanted more in-depth look at dashboards. That was definitely a high level view there. So appreciate everybody's time.